Hey guys, so I'm going to be reviewing the OCC, which stands for Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics Skin Foundation today. I am wearing it right now along with some RCMA No Color Loose Powder, and I think that's it. Let's get started. So here it is in the shade I use, which is Y0. And then I also got shades Y1 and Y2. This is the obviously Y for yellow based. It does have a red baseline and it runs from the letter 0 to 5. Obviously an increasing range of depth and shade. I am Y0, I have really pale skin, and I've been using this on a daily basis for the past, when did I get my airbrush? I guess it'd be about a month and a half, 2 months now. First thing I have to say about this stuff, it's amazing. This foundation is the first stuff I have found that gives me full coverage, is in a shade that's both yellow based and is light enough for my skin, which I have never found. Even with my Red Blonde color shade that I used to use and I raved about, it was still a bit pinky when it was that pale, which wasn't too bad, but you could definitely see it when I went under like fluorescent lighting, and it was noticeable. It controls oil incredibly, has the most amazing demi-matte finish. I can't say enough about this stuff. Start off with though, packaging, you're either gonna love it or hate it. I have some that are in the old packaging and some in the new packaging. This is the old packaging. I don't know if you can see that, let's say. I don't think it'll focus, but it kind of looks like a prescription bottle. On the back, it has what looks like ingredients. I'm sorry, this isn't focusing, but it's the instructions, ingredients, and then just the company information. The newer one looks even more like a prescription bottle with this little white label on it, and then just all the information. Now, I really like this packaging. I think it's kind of neat, and it looks really cool, especially with the white like thing on top. But I know some of you are going to hate it. That's personal preference. I really don't think, unless the packaging is faulty in the way that it delivers the product to you, I really don't think that the way it looks should prevent you from buying it. But that is something to keep in mind if you are someone who likes to put your makeup on display and wants it to look or fit with your decor. Next thing, it has this white, all of them have this white spin off top, and then it's a squeeze bottle with a little thing at the top. Mine's really dirty. But I think that's fantastic, especially for airbrush where you have to put it into the little cup on top of the actual gun. Having a squeeze ball instead of a pour or even a pump is fantastic because you can get exactly what you want. It comes out in drops. I use 9 drops for my face, and that's perfect for me. So it's very easily measurable. If you ever want to mix them to get the right shade, which I do all the time, not for myself because Y0 is perfect for me, but for clients or when my skin does change, it gets a bit darker, a little lighter during this summer or winter. It's really easy to measure out like 3 drops to 1 drop of 2 different foundations rather than kind of just estimating if you have to pour it or pump it. So that's really fantastic about the packaging. Next thing, wear. Going on, let me start by saying I've never used this with a regular foundation brush or sponge. I have seen applications done with it that way, and they look really close to how it's done with airbrush, but I have noticed that artists who do it that way tend to use a bit more because this product is really thin. When it dries down, and the thing about this, it's a completely water-based foundation, which is great for people with oily skin. There's absolutely no oil in it, no silicones, but it dries like that, like in 2 seconds. And once it dries, it will not move. If you try and put something over it, it will just smudge. If you get it wet and move it, it will drip and smudge. If you set it with a powder, it does become water resistant, not waterproof. But without it, if like you somehow drip water onto it and try and wipe it away or blot it away, you're just gonna be left with a patch of like mottled foundation. So that's something to be careful of. That said though, when it dries, it gives an incredible demi-matte finish. It's not completely matte, it still has a bit of a shine. Not so much as time, more of a glow, like that glow of really, really healthy, like young skin. That looks incredible. And even with powder over it, you can still get it to that level where it's not completely matte. The coverage is completely buildable. With one layer of this put on with an airbrush, it's sheer coverage. I usually do 2 to 3 and then spot conceal to get the medium to full coverage I prefer. But it's completely up to you, depending on how much you use and how you apply it for what coverage you want. I've put this on at 6 in the morning, come home at, let's say like midnight, checked my face, it still looks incredible. I've blotted maybe once during the day, when a low oil is poked through, if it's been really hot or if I've been running around sweating a bit. But this stuff lasts like a champ. I mean, if it's raining out and you're getting wet, like I said, it is gonna smudge a bit. But as long as that's not happening, as long as you're not sweating profusely, this stuff will stay on your skin. It's not gonna separate, it doesn't oxidize, and foundations are notorious for oxidizing on my really oily skin. It stays the color that you see on your skin originally. It just seems to meld into your skin. It doesn't settle into pores. It doesn't really settle into lines. If you do apply it heavily around here where the smile lines are, it will settle into those. I have to say that. I have had to be careful with that because I smile a lot, so I get those little creases sometimes. But around the eyes, as long as you're using it with a light hand, it's not gonna settle into lines there. And it looks just great. I've gotten so many compliments on my skin, which even using my Revlon Color Stay, I rarely got. And I thought I had application with that down. But I've gotten so many compliments from people saying, how do you get your skin so good? Why is your skin so glowy today? What are you using? What products are you using? What face wash are you using? They don't even know it's makeup. I mean, people before used to say, with the Revlon Color Stay, they'd say, oh, your foundation looks great today, you did a really good job. Now it's, your skin looks really good. What's your skincare routine, not what's your makeup routine, which is incredible. I mean, I'm still using this for like medium full coverage, so with most other foundations that would be detectable. Not with this. Absolutely fantastic. I know I've said that like 4 or 5 times in this video already, but I just can't say it enough. I use the Y2 for contouring. I just put it underneath the cheekbones on both sides, temples, everywhere you contour. And it's a great for that. I know some lines, if you try and use a dark color to contour, it just looks kind of weird, like you use 2 different colored foundations on your face. But with this, it actually looks like that like slight shadow that you get when you have like more defined cheekbones or more defined jaw or whatever. Let's see what else. Mixing, if you want to do that, is incredibly easy. Like I said, all you have to do is put them in a little cup or on a little palette and mix them together with a toothpick. Really simple. If you are going to use a brush or a sponge, I'd recommend wetting them first because this is so thin. You don't want them to absorb all of it before it gets onto your face. I guess that's about it. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to apply this with an airbrush, and if enough of you want it, I'll try and do it with a brush later on, a regular foundation brush later on, and see how that works. But I can't say enough about it. It's $20 for this little thing. I've had it for a month and a half and I barely used a third of it. Again, for full coverage, which is incredible. I could rarely go that long with any other foundation without having to repurchase. Only thing is you can only buy it online, which sucks a little bit, but there are some sites, and I'll put them in the bar below, where you can get samples, so you're not just ordering blindly. The colors that you see on the web are a bit different than what you get, which is why I originally ordered 3 shades. Anyone with oily, young, troubled, whatever skin, this hasn't broken me out. It looks incredible on my oily skin. I've used it on people with normal and combo skin. It looks great. Dry skin people might want to not stay away. It is good on dry skin, but you have to be a bit more careful with application. You do have to use a lighter hand around your really dry areas, because if you try and do full coverage on the drier areas, it will tend to cake up a bit and accentuate those. But as long as you use a lighter hand, it's still great for that. And it looks like skin. It looks like the name of the product, OCC Skin Foundation. I can't rave enough about it. I will keep trying other airbrush foundations because this is the first one I tried, but I have a feeling that I'm going to keep going back to this one. It works for my skin, it works for other people's skin, it looks like skin, and it's good to your skin. It's OCC Skin Foundation. That's it. Alrighty, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.